Come on, bro. What are you talking
I
about?
don't watch the credits.
How could you embarrass me like this?
I didn't. That's your generation.
You ain't never seen Poetic Justice?
I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas?
I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house. Yeah.
King Harris is finally opening up about being manipulated by his baby mama, Big Nana, and it's crazy. The drama doesn't stop there. T.I. allegedly stepped in and took a DNA test to find out if he's really a grandfather. The results? They might just blow everything wide open. Big Nana recently gave birth, and while it should be a moment of joy, things have taken a very messy turn. King Harris claims his baby mama played him for clout and money. He feels like she used him to get in with the Harris family and secure some wealth and fame. Here's the thing. T.I. was never sold on Big Nana's intentions from the jump. Yeah, we know King Harris is young, and relationships at that age can be messy. But T.I.'s radar was going off from the start. From the moment he learned King was dating Big Nana, he warned his son to be careful. T.I. has been in the game long enough to spot a player when he sees one, and he wasn't feeling Big Nana's vibe.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to...
Sure, King was head over heels for her, and it seemed like everything was going well. But T.I., being the father that he is, wasn't buying into it. He saw someone who wasn't interested in love, but rather in using King for his clout and the potential money that could come with the relationship. He warned King that Big Nana wasn't in it for the right reasons, but of course, like most young people, King didn't listen. He thought he knew better. Fast forward to Big Nana's pregnancy, and suddenly T.I.'s warnings didn't seem so crazy anymore. King was going to be a dad, and T.I. was not happy about it. It wasn't just because King was young. It was more about the fact that Big Nana was carrying the weight of the situation. T.I. had his suspicions that she wasn't just after a relationship, but had an agenda: fame, money, and status.
Do anything for the fam, I wanna blood it. I've been a problem child for my whole life. This ain't just started now. Went from riding with me then to not riding now. Yeah, my shit.
Now, we know T.I.'s been around some of the most beautiful women in Hollywood and knows how the game works. So when Big Nana's pregnancy news came out, it wasn't just a congratulations moment for T.I. It was a wait, this doesn't feel right moment. T.I. wasn't thrilled about the idea of his son becoming a father under these circumstances, especially with someone who might be using him. Now, here's where things get real interesting. T.I. wasn't going to just sit back and let his son make a huge mistake. No, he took action. Sources claim that T.I. secretly arranged for a DNA test to be done on Big Nana's baby, just to be sure. And it came back negative. King Harris is not the father. Boom. Big Nana had been playing him the whole time. T.I. wasn't surprised. He'd been warning King about her intentions from the start. Can you imagine how this must have felt for King Harris? To be blindsided by this test result after all the plans, the excitement, and the future he thought he had with Big Nana? T.I. confronted his son with the test results and told him, "I told you so." Honestly, that must have stung. And let's be real, this wouldn't be the first time King Harris has found himself in hot water, or done something so questionable that his dad had to step in and check him. When you look at his past antics, it's clear that he's been caught up in some questionable situations that make you wonder, is King Harris just an easy target for manipulation?
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand that.
No, I'm going to tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he can suck and pacify over there. He was 12 years old. He was sucking and pacify. He was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
Remember the infamous Waffle House incident when King allegedly threatened to pistol whip an employee over a simple order mix-up? Yeah, that actually happened. And it's not the first time we've seen him get caught up in heated arguments that spiral out of control. We've even seen him get into it with rapper Fulio, after Fulio called him a fake gangster online. King took it to the next level, trying to challenge him to a boxing match, as if that was the solution to everything. But this kind of behavior isn't just a series of random outbursts. And then there's back in 2023 when T.I. and Boosie Badazz had to shut down a music video shoot because King and Boosie's son were out here flashing guns. T.I. and Boosie weren't having it. They made it clear, this isn't the life they want their kids to be portraying.
around those legal guns.
That's called
It's not possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you. This shit ain't, hey man, this shit ain't free. This shit come out of account. I can't believe this shit, man. What happened to some other? Why y'all don't make no motherfucking love music? You got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man?
Boozy and T.I. literally told the boys that flashing firearms like that could land them in serious trouble. T.I. broke it down, explaining how the police could roll up on them and start asking about permits and licenses. They were giving King a major reality check, and it should have been the moment that snapped him back to reality. But clearly, King didn't take that lesson to heart. He's still out here acting like he's invincible, thinking nothing will catch up with him. It paints a clear picture of someone who is easily swayed, easily provoked, and maybe even easily manipulated into making poor decisions. And that's where Big Nana comes in. Here's where things take a turn. Big Nana came into the picture, and things really started to get messy. According to sources, T.I. had serious concerns from the jump about Big Nana's intentions. He warned King not to get caught up with her, saying she was more interested in fame and financial gains than a real relationship. But King, blinded by love, ignored those warnings.
I'm scared to give birth. I don't think I ain't scared, but contractions might give me I might get a little spooked with the contractions. What does the baby look like in the scan? It looked like he got my nose.
And that's where the manipulation started. Allegedly, Big Nana was pulling the strings behind the scenes, using King for what he could provide. Reports say she had him cut off communication with his family, making him isolate himself. And here's the kicker. When T.I. and the rest of the family weren't around, Big Nana had total control over King. So it's easy to see how someone like King, who's already prone to making questionable decisions, could be lured in by someone like Big Nana. She knew exactly what buttons to push, and King fell right into her trap. T.I.'s instincts were on point when he warned his son that Big Nana was using him, but King was too busy trying to prove something to himself, and maybe to Big Nana, to listen. Was it just the relationship, or is King being manipulated by his own impulses? And let's be real here, King's behavior, both in his personal life and out on the streets, shows that he's easily influenced. He's quick to act out, quick to take things personally, and quick to make decisions based on emotions rather than logic. It's like he's always one step away from being manipulated. Whether it's trying to prove his toughness online or jumping into a relationship without thinking, King seems like a prime target for people looking to take advantage of him. Which brings us to the DNA test, the proof in the pudding that T.I. was right all along. Big Nana wasn't in it for love. She was in it for the clout and the money. When the results came back negative and King learned he wasn't the father, it must have been a gut punch. But let's be honest, this was the outcome that was almost too obvious. King, however, had been manipulated into believing that this was all about love and family. In reality, it was a power play by Big Nana. And the sad part? He was too deep in it to realize it until the truth came crashing down. The thing is, King's not just being manipulated by Big Nana. He's also being manipulated by his own impulsive decisions. His pattern of reckless behavior, from the Waffle House incident to his online beefs, shows that King doesn't always think before he acts. And when you're a person like that, it's easy for someone to swoop in and take advantage of your weaknesses. And right now, it seems like King's biggest weakness is his inability to control his impulses.
King is a hassler. King is my baby, but he is nerve-wracking. Everybody know he's been like that ever since he was a young kid. I can't wait to see what this baby do to him.
So when it comes down to it, King Harris isn't just a victim of Big Nana's manipulation. He's also a victim of his own lack of self-control. Imagine being in King's shoes. He thought he was going to be a father. He was already emotionally invested, and then bam, the truth comes crashing down. Reports say King was completely devastated by the news. He had been manipulated into thinking Big Nana was the one, and the worst part? He had pushed away his family, especially his dad, all in the name of love and loyalty to her. Now, not only does he have to face the reality that the baby isn't his, but he has to deal with the fact that he was played. Fans who followed this drama closely couldn't help but feel bad for King. At the same time, there were a lot of people who were like, he should have listened to his dad. T.I. warned him, tried to protect him, but King was blinded by emotions and what he thought was love. It's honestly heartbreaking when you think about it, but T.I. was right. He knew from the beginning that Big Nana wasn't trustworthy. If there's one thing King Harris can't seem to escape, it's comparisons to his dad. And it's not just about the family drama. It's about the attitude. King's fiery personality and his constant clashes with authority have drawn major comparisons to T.I. in his younger years. Remember when T.I. was all over the news for his public feuds and controversial moments? Well, King is definitely following in those very same footsteps. Just like T.I. back in the day, King has adopted this stand-on-business mentality, which sounds cool on the surface, but has often landed him in some pretty messy situations. From social media beefs to almost pulling out a gun in an Atlanta parking lot, King's boldness has both fueled his rebellious image and landed him in hot water more times than we can count. And it's not just about King's actions. Ty himself has been no stranger to drama recently. In fact, he got into a public altercation with a nightclub where they were using his family drama to promote an event. T.I. wasn't having any of it. And let's just say, he let the venue know exactly how he felt.
Call who you need to call, do what you need to do. Ain't nothing happening. No money, no beers, no partying, no sections, nothing. You put me and mine on the motherfucking flyer, nigga, get me everything.
This is just another example of how both father and son have a tendency to let their personal drama spill out into the public. And while T.I. may have the experience and wisdom to handle it, King still seems to be learning the ropes the hard way. Now, you have to wonder, was T.I. wrong for going behind his son's back and getting the DNA test? Some might say he was overstepping, but honestly, after everything that happened, T.I.'s move might have been the only thing that saved King from an even bigger mess. T.I. wasn't just protecting King's feelings. He was protecting the family's finances and legacy. So what do you think? Was T.I. right to take matters into his own hands? Or was he just overstepping? And how far do you think Big Nana would have gone if T.I. hadn't stepped in? Could King Harris have avoided this mess if he'd listened to his dad from the start? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the situation. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. And of course, make sure you check out our next video on the screen. You don't want to miss that drama. See you there.